I felt like he kind of knew what was going to go on. I
Yeah,
felt like he understood that the end game, and to protect her, we go into the tail end of things. But I ain't gonna spoil that yet.
right,
But we see how everything plays out because of his sacrifice.
right. He made the same sacrifices like Holder did.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
The exact same.
exact same thing. Exact same thing. But now we enter into the frame where the after John tells Danny the dead are coming, and she says no, the dead are already here. They
Right.
both mount their dragons and
Right.
created, and they were rushing. They were the whole squad at Winterfell was getting pushed back. Rhaegal, Drogon, with the two riders,
Mm-hmm.
Daenerys and John, with the fire,
Mm-hmm.
burn those wildlings away, and it gave more hope.
Right.
When the hope was taken away for a brief moment, the dragons came and brought the hope back
Right.
to everybody. So they stood their ground and kept on fighting. But I don't know if you agree with me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The tactical mistake that Jon and Daenerys made was they made the same mistake the Dothraki did.
They rushed.
They rushed it.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand why they both had to go in the same direction.
That's a good point. Good
It,
point.
I don't understand why they had to go in the same direction, because I felt like they could have split up at that point.
Mm-hmm.
The dragons could have did damage in multiple directions,
Exactly.
and I feel like they would have had a little bit better tactical advantage as far as that was concerned.
Right.
Yes, we understand that we were trying to brand.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get to Bran eventually.
Right.
That was like the main, pretty much like you're playing chess. That was the king that we
Right.
were trying to protect on the board.
Right.
But I feel like the Night King already knew what he was going to do. It was a distraction. He put everybody in a pit, got the
Mm-hmm.
dragon over there. Where
Exactly.
you going?
And then he made that ice cloud.
Right,
They couldn't see what they were firing.
right.
And even at one instance, actually bumped. They collided with each other.
Yeah, because they couldn't see.
Exactly.
They couldn't see to put the fire in the trench,
Mm-hmm.
which was what everybody was waiting for.
Exactly. And Davos like, yo, light the trench. But who shot out and said light the trench to Davos? Was it no Grey Worm?
Gray room. Yeah,
Grey Worm screamed up and said, light the trench. And
right,
then you see Davos swinging his like the airplane signal.
right.
Couldn't see.
She couldn't see. John couldn't see.
And
That
it
that was kind of a surprise, because I didn't think they had that. I didn't think that the Night King had that capability as far as the weather. Um, it threw me off a little bit.
right.
Um, and being so dark on the episode, it was just like, yo, what just happened?
Exactly. I mean, that's probably one negative I say about the episode. People on Facebook post some things on Facebook. Oh, well, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be a night. I'm like, yeah, but at least have a little contrast so we can see people's faces, see what everybody's doing. I think that's what my only negative about the whole episode. That was probably the only thing. But let's getting back to now the Night King comes with his dragon Visceron,
Right.
and I'm trying to I watched episode 3 times, try to see what happened between the battle between John and Rhaegal against the Visceron and the Night King. I don't know if Rhaegal was winning. I don't know. I think it looked to me as if the Visceron was winning the battle. I don't know. I don't know if it's because of John is still getting used to riding a dragon
Right.
or what have you, but I believe Rhaegal was doing his best to protect John.
Right.
Rhaegal, I think Rhaegal he was fighting, yes, but he was more trying to protect John.
Right.
So that was an interesting subplot, and you notice how the Night King was trying to reach for his ice pick, ice dagger,
Yeah.
and John was also reaching for Longclaw.
Right.
So they were about to have it. They were about to go in up in the sky,
Right.
and then Visceron takes down Rhaegal. Rhaegal crashes into the grounds, and Jon falls off.
Right.
And then Daenerys comes from out of nowhere with Drogon and knocks the Night King off Visceron.
Right.
And you see the Night King falling to the ground, like as if he just spit in the pure darkness. And then, lo and behold, you see a Night King lands. And he's walking towards where Bran is in the weirwood tree, the Godswood. And then Jon, for some reason, he's like a freaking little kamikaze motherfucker. Dude, what are you doing? You see a pile of dead bodies around you. You try to run after the Night King, which I'm like, yeah, that's great. Good job, Jon. Jon just want to fight the Night King so bad. It was unbelievable how he wanted to fight him.
Right.
But for some reason, the Night King would not let him get close.
Nope.
Out of all the people who were supposed to be the prince that was promised, the Night King did not want Jon to be close to him.
Nope. Not at all. When he raised those bodies.
Exactly.
When he raised those bodies after he had Jon surrounded, it was like it was more like, Jon, what you gonna do now?
But you know what Jon did though? He kept on running towards the Night King. You trying to get to him. I'm like, Jon, you really trying to die, man. You really are trying to fucking die here. I couldn't believe he was doing that shit.
No, it threw me off too. I'm like, please don't tell me this is gonna be one of those scenes where he dies.
Exactly. It turned out that way, just because he wanted to fight the Night King by himself.
Right.
He wanted the Night King. That's all he wanted.
Yeah, he just wanted a piece of that.
Exactly. And then he turned around and the Night King's like like the Undertaker. And everybody's like Jon was like, shit, I gotta fight through all these motherfuckers.
Yeah. Hey, you in the middle of all these motherfuckers.
They surrounded him like the Boltons surrounded them in the bed of the bastards.
Now, what people don't realize is the people that were killed with the dragon glass, they're not rising. The soldiers that died because of the night
because of the White Walkers.
Because of the White Walkers,
mm-hmm.
Their bodies were resurrected. Because
right.
I just finished having that. My wife was asking about that. She's like, how did these guys get resurrected when they were hit with dragon glass? No, they were the soldiers that fell in the field from the Night Walkers. So just to be clear, so everybody's clear on that little point, that's why they were easily resurrected. And people started rising from the crypts.
Was it in the crypts?
It was in the crypts. They were in the crypts. The House of Stark's crypts. They were people in there were resurrecting as well.
God, yeah, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, you take a look at it when you get a chance. Go back and look at that because the people they didn't get into the crypts.
Mm-hmm.
The Night Walkers didn't get into the crypts. The bodies that were already in the crypts were raising from the dead.
Wow.
Yeah, and my wife said it would be funny if they had to fight their family members. She said Ed. I was like, Ed had no head, so that's out of the.
Ned wasn't able to fight. Neither was, I don't know if Rob's body's in there either.
No, I said they were. That was in a different area,
mm-hmm.
and I don't know where those bodies were buried, but that wasn't in Winterfell.
Okay. Yeah.
That wasn't in Winterfell, but we had that discussion too. That was like a sidebar as far as the bodies that were being raised up.
Exactly. And now we go back to we see Grey Worm and Tormund is telling everybody to fall back. Yeah. Also Brienne telling everybody to fall back. All the commanders at their post was telling everybody to fall back. And the Unsullied, I have to give them a lot of credit. They were still holding off those hordes.
Right.
Of White Walkers.
Right.
So they were going to be going behind the trenches, and you see Grey Worm motioning to Davos like the trenches. Daenerys couldn't see them. So she was able to light the trenches.
Right.
But once Melisandre once again does the spell again, mm-hmm. the trenches that's like the second part of the ring.
Right.
All around Winterfell.
Right.
and I believe Jamie and Brienne and Podrick and all those people were already back in Winterfell,
Right.
back inside into Winterfell on the perch, looking down because they had the archers ready to rock and roll. So, and then again, even though they were losing hope, the fire gave them all hope again. So it seemed like every time in the battle when they hit a low point,
right,
they got more. They always find a way to get back the emotion of trying to win.
right.
That's when you think their confidence is broken. The confidence is back up in a quick second.
Right.
That was key to them. That was key. And it was another thing too that let's go back to Jon's situation when he was trying to chase the Night King. Daenerys saves him again.
Yes.
With Drogon. And Drogon was.
She didn't have to.
She didn't have to, but I think it was more Drogon leading her to Jon.
Right.
I think it was a dragon that led her to Jon because he was like, "Yo, I gotta protect my father."
Right.
Quote unquote.
Right.
Let's get to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he was like, Yo, I gotta go to Bran. I gotta get to Bran. She's like, go.
Right.
And then all of the White Walkers that were still rising up jumps on Drogon.
Right. I don't understand why she was still there anyway. She should have took off.
She was she she was kind of slow in taking off. She took off.
She didn't take off. She got surrounded. How you just gonna be there just chilling, looking at Jon Lee?
All
right, Jon. See you later.
Probably love struck her or something.
Yeah.
But she the White Walker jumps on her on Drogon, stabbed the shit out of Drogon. I thought Drogon was going down too.
Yeah.
The way it was.
He's very, very injured.
Yeah. But he shook Daenerys off the White Walkers.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tried to fly off to get him to do some twirl in the air to get him off of him.
Right.
Then Daenerys was all by herself in that same circle that Jon was.
Right.
And I was like, oh boy, she's gonna die today too.
I said, why didn't she walk into the fire like she did before? She'd be all right.
Yeah. They're not gonna get her in the fire. That was another thing too that I don't think a lot of people who watched the episode didn't catch on. If she had just stood in the fire, they wouldn't touch her.
No, they wouldn't have touched her. They would have left her alone.
Mm-hmm. So now she's stuck in the circle of White Walkers, the new White Walkers.
Right.
And Jorah Mormont hears the dragon squeal.
Now, I didn't know if you noticed, but the White Walkers that were attacking were Dothraki.
Yes. Yes.
They were Dothraki Night Walkers.
Yes. Yes. They were attacking Jon too.
Yeah.
And so now Jorah hears the roar of the dragon. He's going to go protect his queen.
Right.
But as great of a warrior or a soldier that Jorah Mormont is and was, that it was too much of a numbers game for him.
Yeah, and he's
older,
he's wielding that sword.
Yeah,
it's a heavy sword.
Yes,
that's why Sam gave it to him.
Exactly.
I can't handle this.
Now, let me ask you a question. Now, if he had, let's say, a sort of dragon glass or something like that, mm-hmm. You think he would have survived that? The onslaught of White Walkers?
I can't really say because he fights the same way. He's throwing himself into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of strategic battle.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just more of a brute.
Right.
You have a brute on the line where I'm going to put everything into this. My goal is to protect this queen by enemies. If it means sacrificing my body, then I'm going to do that.
Exactly.
His last breath.
Exactly.
Right before he was about to collapse, he seen another one, got right back up, and was like, "Let me get that real quick."
Exactly.
Okay, now I can continue dying.
But the beautiful part of that scene, while he was trying to protect Daenerys, for the first time, as we've seen in all Game of Thrones, right. Daenerys becomes a soldier.
Right.